Hello viewers, I am Dr. A. Pavan Kumar, currently working as Assistant Professor in Finance at the Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, Telangana. Today, in this module, we will be dealing with public sector enterprise pricing. The present module deals with what is public enterprise, pricing, objectives of pricing, pricing policy, various types of pricing, how pricing is done in private enterprises and public enterprises, how the pricing is different in public enterprise and private enterprise. What is a public enterprise? The term public enterprise can be defined as an enterprise where there is no private ownership, where its functions are not merely confined to the maximization of profits or the promotion of private interests of the enterprise, but are governed by the public or social interest, and where the management is responsible to the government either directly as in departmental undertakings or indirectly as in government companies and corporations. What is pricing? Pricing is the process whereby a business sets the price at which it will sell its products and services and may not be part of the business marketing plans. In setting prices, the businesses will take into account the price at which it could acquire the goods, the manufacturing cost, the marketplace, competition, market conditions, brand, and the quality of the product. Objectives of pricing: to achieve the financial goals of the company, that is profitability, to fit the realistic of the marketplace which the customers buy at that price, to support a product's market positioning and be consistent with the other variables in the marketing mix. The price is influenced by the type of distribution channel used, the type of promotion used, and the quality of the product. Price will be usually need to be relatively high if the manufacturing is expensive, distribution is exclusive, and the product is supported by extensive advertising and promotional campaign. A low cost price can be viable substitute for the product quality, effective promotions, or energetic selling efforts by the distributors. What is pricing policy? The policy of a company or business that guides the price setting of its goods and services that are offered for sale. Factors involved in pricing policy. The pricing of the product involves consideration of the following factors: cost data, demand factor, consumer psychology, competition, profit, government policy. Pricing in a public enterprise differs from that in a private enterprise. That is, public enterprise has a macro motivation both conceptually and operationally. Pricing policy is an important but controversial administrative problem of public enterprises. The main considerations in the formulation of a proper pricing policy for public sector consists of rational allocation of resources, attainment of the optimization level of operations, generation of surpluses for reinvestment, making products available to consumers as widely as possible, coping with competition from private sector and foreign markets. In India, different public enterprises have been found to follow alternative pricing policies, namely no profit, no loss pricing, profit pricing, subsidized pricing, import parity pricing, conversion pricing for long-term contract or bulk purchases, cost plus pricing. Let us see the examples of CPSEs following various public methods or pricing methods. These CPSEs are nothing but central public sector enterprises. No profit, no loss pricing. Under their Memorandum of Association, Hindustan Insecticides and Hindustan Antibiotics follow this pricing policy. Profit pricing: Indian Railways, Sindri Fertilizers, Hindustan Machine Tools adopt this policy to contribute to public exchequer and to plow back their earnings. Subsidized pricing: enterprises running schemes for public welfare follow this policy. Example: the State Bank of India Rural Branch Expansion Scheme, State Electricity Boards, Food Corporation of India. Import parity pricing: Hindustan Shipyard and such other enterprises follow this policy of import parity pricing, as they have to compete with foreign products. The landed price of imported products is considered. Concessional pricing for long-term contract or bulk purchases: Hindustan Steel Limited charges concessional prices on bulk purchases and Chittaranjan locomotives for long-term contract for the supply of locomotives. Cost plus pricing: aeronautics, Indian Telephone Industries, Hindustan Cables and the Post, the Telegraphs Department fixes the by adding a certain margin of the cost of production. Dual pricing: under this policy, higher prices are charged from rich buyers and lower prices from the poor buyers. Pooled pricing: pricing of fertilizers are fixed on the basis of fertilizer pool. This pool companies of retention prices paid to the public sector fertilizer units and price paid for imported fertilizers. Other practices: some other pricing practices followed by public enterprises are as follows. Enterprises like Air India, Shipping Corporation of India fix their rates as per the trends in the international market. Similarly, petrol prices depend on international prices of oil. Enterprises with a captive market charge prices so to generate surplus for operations or surplus for the enterprises. Example: public sector boards. C, that is State Trading Corporation, Minerals and Metals Trading Corporation, etc. operate on the basis of certain percentage service charge on foreign operations. The Indian Oil Corporation pays to the ONGC prices based on governmental award. Administrative Reforms Commission (ARC) study team on public enterprise undertakings suggests the following criteria for price policy in the public sector. Public enterprises must at least pave their way and not run into losses unless there are clear and overriding reasons on public interest as indicated in open directive issued by the government. Public utilities and services should lay more stress upon the achievement of optimum size than upon return on investment. While determining the price structure commensurate with the surplus expected from them, public enterprises should keep the level of output at near the rated capacity as possible, subject to the volume of demand for the products. Discriminating or differential rate pricing may be adopted when it is observed that well-to-do people should pay more than poor ones for the same service. Public enterprises of industrial and manufacturing type should, as an obligation, earn sufficient surpluses so as to make a substantial contribution to the capital formation of the country. Next, from this module, the expected questions are in the short answer type. The expected questions are: what is pricing? What is pricing policy? What is cost plus pricing? Define subsidized pricing. Define profit pricing. Define pooled pricing. What are the practices followed by private enterprises in pricing? What are the practices followed by public enterprises in pricing? how pricing is different in public enterprises compared to private enterprises. What is product life cycle? What is pricing? Pricing is the process whereby a business sets the price at which it will sell its products and services and may be part of the business marketing plan. In setting prices, the businesses will take into account the price at which it could acquire the goods, the manufacturing cost, the marketplace, competition, market condition, brand and the quality of the product. For example, the selling price of a toothpaste is 50 rupees per 100 grams. It means that it includes not only the cost of manufacturing but also the value of the brand plus the cost of marketing, the cost of packing and other variable as well as fixed costs. And it also includes the percentage of profit which will be given back to the various investors or the stakeholders. Objectives of pricing: to achieve the financial goals of the company, that is profitability. If we observe the goal of any enterprise, whether it is a public or a private enterprise, the goal of the various stakeholders is to achieve certain amount of profit. And the basics of financial management teach us that the wealth maximization is the core of the financial management. The wealth maximization will be achieved once you have the higher profitability. The profitability will be realized if the pricing of that particular product is done in a correct way where the maximum amount for that particular product can be realized. To fit the realities of marketplace, will the customer buy at that particular price? For example, if a toothpaste or a toothbrush is priced at 200 rupees per unit or 100 grams of toothpaste, then the market competitors or the general public or the customers will think twice whether it is really to purchase a toothpaste or a toothbrush worth 200. To support a product's market positioning and be consistent with the other variables in the marketing mix. Here, for example, ITC, which is one of the companies which markets various products of same line of purpose. Example, toilet soaps. They manufacture with different prices targeted at different customer incomes. For example, Lux soap may be priced at 25 rupees per 100 grams, whereas Lux International is priced at 60 rupees for 75 grams. Price is influenced by the type of distribution channel used, the type of promotion used, and the quality of the product. For example, if the distribution channel is long, that is, it starts with the producer, then it comes to the distributor, then to the wholesaler, then to the retailer, and then to the customer. It has to, that is, the product has to pass through various hands. If it passes through various hands, the profit margin at different stages has to be added to the product. For example, if a soap is manufactured at 35 rupees, then the profit of the distributor has to be added, then the profit of the wholesaler has to be added, then the profit of the retailer has to be added. Put together, this price may come to 50 rupees. Then further we can say that the type of promotion which the company uses. For example, if a product is being advertised or promoted by Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar, the cost incurred of hiring the services of Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar has to be passed on to the customer, and the quality of the product. The same company may manufacture two different products. For example, a toilet soap. That is, a toilet soap may be priced at 20 rupees, which is of little bit low quality compared to a toilet soap which is priced at 60 rupees. That is, the TMF content may be very less in case of a soap which is priced at 20 rupees, and it may be more in case of a toilet soap which is priced at 60 rupees. Price will be usually need to relatively high if the manufacturing is expensive, distribution is exclusive, and the product is supported by extensive advertising and promotional campaign. That is, to give the example, a price will be relatively high if the manufacturing costs are high. For example, a product is being made by using the machines which are imported. This cost has to be included to the price which will be sold to the customer. A low cost price can be a variable substitute for product quality, effective promotion, or energetic selling efforts by the distribution. For example, here when Nirma was introduced in the market, it was priced at less than 20 rupees per kilo. Whereas when you observe its competitor Surf was priced at 500 grams at 70 rupees. This particular pricing was possible in case of Nirma because of the cost which it was incurring. Even though there is a difference in the quality of the product, but general public or the customer was attracted by the Nirma's pricing. What is a pricing policy? The policy of a company or business that guides the price setting of its goods and services that are offered to sale. For example, the pricing of a doctor is different with that of an engineer. The price which a doctor charges may be a discriminating price. With a poor customer, he may charge, or a poor patient, he may charge lesser amount with that of a rich customer. While prescribing various types of medicine, a branded medicine may be prescribed for a rich customer, whereas a normal brand which is priced at a lower price may be prescribed for a poor patient, even though the quality of the machine, even though the efficiency or effectiveness of that particular costlier medicine may be equivalent to the low priced medicine. It depends upon the pricing policy of the doctor. The pricing of the product involves considerations of the following factors. Cost data, that is, what is the cost which is being incurred for the manufacture of the product, as well as the distribution costs and other variable costs. The second one is demand factor. In the recent past, we would have observed that the cost of the onions, which is a daily requirement for the general public, was priced at more than 80 rupees per kilo, whereas in a normal season, it would have been priced at 4 rupees or 5 rupees. This example shows that if the demand is more for that particular product and if the supply of that particular product is less, automatically the pricing will increase or the cost of the particular product will be more. Consumer psychology. Even the pricing of that particular product will depend upon the consumer psychology. Generally, the customer believes or thinks that if the product is priced more, the quality of the product will be more. That is the reason the difference between the costlier item and a low priced item may be very less, or the contents of the product may be marginally different. The example earlier I was citing was the example of Lux, a toilet soap, and Lux International. The basic component of TMF, which is nothing but toilet fat moisturizer, may be 60% in a 20 rupees priced soap, whereas it may be 65% or 70% in case of Lux International, which is a premium priced product. Competition. Even the most important factor to price a particular product is competition. If the competition is cutthroat, then the producer or the manufacturer will reduce his margin of the profit. Earlier, for the same product, he would have been charging 60% or 50%. Because of the cutthroat competition, the price of the product may be reduced by reducing his profit margin. For example, if we take Surf Excel, which was priced at 200 rupees per kg, then suddenly there was an entrant in the form of Ariel Henko, which was priced at 160 rupees per kilo. Then the price of Surf Excel was reduced to 154 rupees per kg so that the customers can be retained rather than shifting from Surf Excel to Henko or Ariel. That means that the company was charging higher amount of cost so that it can retain higher amount of profit with the customer. And then the most important factor is the amount of profit which the manufacturer wants to retain back. If he wants to retain lesser amount of the profit, then the cost price of that particular product will be lesser than the product which would have been offered in an earlier stage at a higher rate. Government policy. Even the government policy influences the prices of a particular product. If the government policy says that this particular product is an emergency product or a necessary product, or the government dictates the price. Example, the prices of pulses, the prices of rice, the prices of paddy or wheat, they cannot be priced as a farmer wishes. The government fixes a particular price depending upon the supply and demand and the necessity of the consumer. Pricing in public enterprises is different from that of private enterprise. That is, a public enterprise has a macro motivation both conceptually and operationally. Here, to give an example, everyone would have observed that BSNL will dig maybe around 6 feet or 7 feet in the middle of the road to lay a telephone cable or an internet cable. Whereas if you observe a Reliance or maybe a private company may be digging 6-inch or 5-inch because they use an optical fiber cable, whereas the BSNL is compelled to use the traditional cable because it has to support one more enterprise, which is nothing but in Indian Telephone Industries, which manufacture only the normal cable or the traditional cable. Pricing policy is an important but controversial administrative problem of a public enterprise. Here, after the period of 1991, wherein the government of India embraced liberalization, privatization and globalization, even the public enterprises are supposed to compete with private enterprises as well as foreign companies. So they are also directed towards generation of profit or wealth maximization, which will be reflecting in the increase or decrease in the share prices. So they are in a dilemma whether to price the particular product at a higher level so that the higher profit is generated, where that it gets reflected in the stock prices, whereby it gives wealth maximization to the stakeholders, or it has to serve the needs of the customer who is the ultimate user of that particular product. The main considerations in the formulation of a proper pricing policy for a public sector consists of rational allocation of resources. The most important point which a public enterprise has to see is the rational allocation of the resources. It doesn't mean that a particular geographical place may be nearer, but it has to take care this particular product is being reached in a far off place. The manufacturing cost of a particular product being carried out by a public enterprise is 50 rupees, as it involves a lesser transportation cost if it supplies its product in Hyderabad, whereas this particular product will be used in the northeast. Still, the price of that particular product cannot be priced higher at northeast. Attainment of the optimal level of operations. For example, a machine has a capacity to produce 5,000 units. It will get optimal cost benefit if it is able to produce 5,000 units. But at 5,000 units, the price has to be a lower one so that the consumer consumes more. If the price of the product is priced more, then the company cannot achieve the optimal level of production or maximization utilization of the machinery, making products available to consumers as widely as possible. The most important factor is that the availability of the products globally or throughout the country. A public enterprise cannot say that it is not viable for it to give the goods at a fairer place. For example, in the northeast, they cannot be denied of the service of this particular enterprise. It has to be given to that place which is far off at the same price. Coping with competition from private sector and foreign markets. Even though the cost of production may be much higher, as we have discussed in the case of BSNL, as it opts only the traditional fiber cable rather than optical fiber cable, and it is compelled to use it. Now the government takes care that the price is subsidized so that it competes with the private sector and with the foreign markets. In India, different public enterprises have been found to follow alternative pricing policies. No profit, no loss pricing, profit pricing, subsidized pricing, import parity pricing, conventional pricing for long-term contract or bulk purchases, cost plus pricing. Examples of central public sector enterprises following various pricing methods. No profit, no loss pricing. Here it doesn't mean that the organization which is following no loss, no profit doesn't have the profit portion. It will have a very limited profit portion. That means that it will be achieving its break-even point. That is, there is no loss or there is no profit, but a marginal profit so that the company survives. Under their Memorandum of Association, Hindustan Insecticides, Hindustan Antibiotics follow the pricing of non-profit or no loss situation. That means they are the companies which are for the public welfare. So they cannot charge huge profit margins and thereby increase the selling price of that particular antibiotic or the insecticide which is of the use for the common man. Profit pricing. Indian Railways, Sindri Fertilizers, Hindustan Machine Tools adopt this policy to contribute to the public exchequer and to plow back their earnings. For example, Indian Railways is a service organization. It gives more profits or plows back profits to the central government because it is one of the source through which the central government reduces the budget deficit with the central government. So it becomes necessary for the Indian Railways to generate more profits and thereby create profit or income to the central government. Subsidized pricing. Enterprises running schemes for public welfare follow this policy of subsidized pricing. Examples: the State Bank of India, rural branches. If you need to give the example here, State Bank of India keeps a minimum limit to different customers at different places. For example, for the educational students, it may keep a limit of 0 balance, whereas in case of salaried with checkbook, it may keep 1000 rupees as minimum. Without checkbook, it may keep it as 500 rupees. Whereas in case of a rural customer, it may keep 0 balance. So it differs from a customer to customer as well as a place to place. Whereas the basic purpose of State Bank of India is to provide service to the customer rather than generation of the profit. There are other examples like electricity boards. For example, electricity board charges 2 rupees per unit up to 50 units, that is for a customer who consumes less power in a month, whereas it may charge 5 rupees for a customer who uses more than 200 units. For industrial purposes, the electricity charges may be priced at 8 rupees or more than 8 rupees. Subsidized pricing. Enterprises running schemes for public welfare follow this policy. Example: State Bank of India's Rural Branch Expansion Scheme, State Bank, Electricity Boards, Food Corporation of India. For example, the State Bank of India may price various interest rates for the same scheme in the rural sector as well as urban sector. Maybe for an MSME in a rural sector, the rate of interest may be only 6%, whereas for the same MSME in a urban area, they may charge 12%. So the cost of interest varies from place to place. In a rural area, to promote the banking as well as MSME culture, the pricing may be very less. Whereas in case of urban area where the culture of MSME as well as getting loans from the banks are normal, the rate of interest is more. To give one more example, the various state electricity boards charge a subsidized price for a customer or a consumer who uses less power. For example, if a customer uses 50 units per month, he may be charged at the rate of 2 rupees per unit. If the customer uses 200 units, the cost of that particular unit may be raised to 5 rupees per unit. Whereas for industrial usage, the cost per unit may be more than 7 rupees or 8 rupees. Import parity pricing. Hindustan Shipyard and such other enterprises follow the policy whose products have to compete with foreign products. The landed price of imported products is considered. For example, the Hindustan Shipyard imports goods from Japan. Then it acts as an entry port. The process of acting an entry port adds certain cost to it. This may be neglected or this may not be taken into account in the purpose of pricing, as this is added to the cost, then the price of a product is increased. Thereby, they will not be in a position to compete with a foreign product. Concessional pricing for long-term contract or bulk purchases. Hindustan Steel Limited charges concessional pricing on bulk purchases and Chittaranjan locomotives for long-term contract for the supply of locomotives. Cost plus pricing. Hindustan Aeronauticals, Indian Telephone Industries, Hindustan Cables and the Post and Telegraphs Department fix prices by adding a certain margin of the cost of production. Dual pricing. Under this policy, higher prices are charged from rich buyers and lower prices from poor buyers. Pooled pricing. The prices of fertilizers are fixed on the basis of the fertilizer pool. This pool comprises of retention prices paid to the public sector fertilizer units and the price paid for imported fertilizers. Other practices. Some of the pricing practices followed by public enterprises are as follows. Enterprises like Air India, Shipping Corporation of India fix their rates as per the trends in the international market. Similarly, petrol prices depend upon the international prices of oil. Enterprises with a certain captive market charge prices so as to generate surplus for the expansion, that is public sector hotels. State Trading Corporation, Minerals and Metals Trading Corporation, etc. operate on the basis of certain percentage service charge on foreign operations. The Indian Oil Corporation pays to the ONGC prices based on governmental award. The Administrative Reforms Commission (ARC) study team on public undertakings suggested the following criteria for price policy in public sectors. Public enterprises must at least pave their way and not run into losses unless there are clear and overriding reasons on public interests as indicated in an open directive issued by the government. For example, here Assam State Road Transport Corporation, that is ASTC, has a directive from the government of Assam saying that even though the bus routes which are laid in the rural areas and the capacity is least occupied, still they have to run the buses in the rural areas even though they incur losses. Public utilities and services should lay more stress upon the achievement of optimal size than upon the return on investment. While determining the price structure commensurate with the surpluses expected from them, public enterprises should keep the level of output as near the related capacity as possible, subject to the volume of demand for the products. Determining or differential rate pricing may be adopted when it is observed that well-to-do people should pay more than the poor ones for the same product or service. Public enterprises of industrial and manufacturing type should have an obligation to earn sufficient surplus so as to make a substantial contribution to the capital formation in the country. The short answer type questions expected out of this particular module are: what is pricing? What is pricing policy? What is cost plus pricing? Define subsidized pricing. Define profit pricing? Define pooled pricing. What are the practices followed by public enterprises in pricing? What are the practices of private enterprises in pricing? How pricing is different in public enterprises compared to the private enterprises? What is product life cycle? Further, from this module, multiple choice questions can be asked, which can be as on. Which of the following is not a financial objective of pricing? Profit maximization, corporate growth, return on investment. Second question can be, what is price skimming? A. Setting an initially high price which falls as competitors enter the market. B. Setting a lower price to skim off a large number of customers. C. Setting a high price which customers perceive as indicative. Setting a price below the competition is called. Setting a price below that of a competition is called as A. Skimming, B. Penetration pricing, C. Competitive pricing. Fourth question can be, which of the following is not a reason for cutting prices? A. Increasing profit margins, B. Capacity utilization, C. Market defense. Fifth question, which of the following is not a reason for increasing prices? A. Curbing demand, B. Price comparison, C. Cost pressures.